Good freaking morning, YouTube, and happy Mother's Day, or happy mid-October, probably by the time I edit this guy out. This is my mom's 1985, I think, Honda Rebel 250 that we bought that did not run and was a cluster. For something her to ride around the block and just get that little bit of wind in her hair. This bike it's in actually really good shape. It doesn't look great, but it runs solid. It's got a new battery with some, don't worry about the wiring, figure that out. With some just wiring to make it work. But everything works on it pretty well. The only thing we have a problem with is, and if it'll turn on, I know the battery needs to charge up. It won't, is this headlight system. And this is just the old 1980 headlight. It's extremely dark. So today, for Mother's Day, bought my mother a new LED headlight system, and it's gonna have a new housing too, because this housing's got a little bit of pitting or whatever, so I got new housing as well. So I'm gonna install that. So yeah, stick around if you want to see how awesome this is gonna look. Voila, there we go. It's an older style. I mean, it lights up, but on the road at night, my mom was complaining very low visibility. And it's not really showing up well on the camera. The camera's kind of making it look a lot brighter than it is. Let me try if I can play with this. So this is closer to what I'm seeing in real life. It's not so blown out like this is. Oh, this is where my camera had it at stock. But if I brought the brightness down, because I'm looking right at the light, I can see the filament on the inside. It's one of those like dim 80s bulbs. And the glass is actually integrated into the bulb. So to replace the bulb, you take the glass out, and then it's all fused as one. So there's no way to just replace the bulb with like an LED. So let's reset the lighting. There we go. Bought this new LED headlight assembly thingy. It's got, I'm pretty sure this is the way it's gonna go. I gotta plug it in. High beam, low beam, some running lights, and then this accent light, which I got to see how we want to wire that. So I bought a new housing for it too, because we tried to fit this guy in the original housing. Am I not focused? I'm not focused. There we go. Sorry, YouTube. You guys are going to have to suck it up. Voila, looks nice. We have fingerprints all over it, and we'll wipe it off. And then a new housing, and should bolt. I've got a couple different bolting options. Should bolt right back into the factory housing. And then some wiring. Not too bad. There's additional wiring back here for the rim light, but I gotta see how to wire that, and if I need some kind of what the thing I used before, Zener diode, I think it is, which allows voltage to follow one direction but not backwards. I think I might need some of those to do this properly, quickly. Might not properly, but it'll work. So first thing we gotta do is remove the old one. So I'm gonna get to it. All right, YouTube, back to it. Went out and got some barrel connectors, which I then put on the ends here, and they fit perfectly, and I'll show you this later, but I got it hooked up. Runs really nicely. The light is super bright, but there are two other wires inside that housing that I need to bring out and connect in here to something in here. Let's bring the brightness up. Oh, look at that. We're getting tricky here, YouTube. Getting tricky. And something in here so that I can have the lights turn on in a certain fashion. That I'll show you guys later, but basically there's a ring light on the front of this guy. Flip it over. This white ring can light up white for your daytime runnings, or it can be, orange, I think, and amber for turn signal. So I want to see if I can figure out how to wire those up. So I've got a trusty voltmeter right about here. My parents' voltmeter, not mine. And I'm going to see if I can identify any wiring in here that I can use to do daytime running and what's the other one called? That one, and the turn signals. Basically, what I'm determined so far is I'm pretty sure the green is the ground, and this I got to test. White's low beam, and there's a blue back. Where'd I go? Back here somewhere? Blue, back here. There he is. That is the high beam. I've determined. But I also have a couple spares floating around here. that had to deal with the old ignition system that doesn't work. So one of these might be active, one might be a ground, I don't know. So I want to try to find something that'll help me out here. So I'm going to go through all the wires, use my trusty voltmeter here, and yeah, basically just try to get them. So I'll let you know what I find. There we go, YouTube. I killed the battery. I actually think the battery, I had to add some acid to it, and I did tighten up the contacts. They're a little loose. So I'm thinking that even though it was plugged into the Moose charger all winter, I don't think it was connected properly because I think the battery would let itself loose late fall. So that battery is dead. So we're going to let it charge. And I have some ideas of what to do up front, but I can't really test much on it because I just keep killing the battery every time I do something. I did jump the bike with one of those guys, no-go booster thingy. And the bike starts, it runs, and it looked like we were charging the battery because I was getting correct voltage out of it, but I didn't want to run it too long because like I'm just in a garage. I wasn't going to ride it around enough. So I'm just going to let it sit on the charger, and I'm going to look at the manual for the charger to make sure it's working properly now. And we'll have to get back to this project later. Well, there it is. Headlights on there on its new bracket. Well, not new, but newly painted bracket. All the wiring goes up into the harness through a little connector down there. And it works. How do I know it works? I'm awesome. Basically, the battery is just shot. I've had it on charge. I took it out of the bike. I tried to charge it. We just need a new battery. That thing is almost 5 years old. It's set on this charger that's supposed to produce a lot of amperage for 6 hours, and it didn't do anything, so I left it overnight. It didn't get up above 11. So if I turn it on, it's going to flash, but... So this is because the charger keeps... Oh, there it goes. Charger keeps kicking in and out, but it works. At least the wiring works. And there's the high beam, the lower one. Oh, it stays on for the high beam. Interesting, but the low beam, like, isn't working at all. These are supposed to be on with the high beam, but they're not. But I mean, let's see if I can... It gives more light already than the old one used to. You know, I'll angle it back towards the wall we had it on. You might not be able to get a good representation, but at least I'll feel better. There it is, YouTube, the light on the wall like I did before. It's maybe a step or two back from the previous one, but oh man, stay. I hit the brake light, but it's already brighter than the previous one. But until we get a new battery in there, we're not gonna be able to do a night test, and I'm not gonna be able to position this properly, which is just tightening this bolt here just a little bit, and it'll tighten the whole system up, and this will be angled nicely. The other thing I gotta do is I gotta wipe off my fingerprints. Ooh, pretty. So wipe those off. We'll get it cleaned up, and this will be done until we get a battery, which only one Advanced Auto in the area had them, and Mom has a special connection through her work with Interstate, I think it was. I think that's what that battery is there. And she'll be able to get a better deal on an Interstate battery because her work buys so many batteries. So she wants to do it that way. No problem for me. Just have her slap in a new battery. It will be good to go. And I think I'm going to try to order her a new battery box because this one's really rusting. I mean, the outside looks okay, but I think what happened is when we bought it, the guy had the wrong battery, and it was sitting in here. Like, it was hanging down like this when he was trying to get it to run. So then I had to, like, bend things back and get it to set up right. And obviously those cables aren't the correct cables, but they work well. Yeah. So, YouTube, that's going to be our 1985 dirty Honda Rebel 250 headlight install. Any questions you guys got on it, give me a comment below. I'll try to answer some stuff. If not, stay tuned for some more cool motorcycle-y content. Ooh, it didn't flash. Uh-oh. Is it charging now finally? Cool. It might be. No, I got the high beam on. There you go. So, yeah, more and more motorcycle content coming along as it's still early in the season. Not riding as much, but we'll get there. So, yeah, we'll be around. Later, everyone. Happy Mother's Day.